16 days of activism of no violence against women and children kicks off in South Africa on the 25th of November and runs till the 10th of December 2016. Every year, the aim of this initiative is to create awareness about violence against women and children, including sexual exploitation. During this time, politicians will mount podiums and make empty speeches. The media will feign shock and surprise and concern about these issues, but nobody actually tackles the real concerns. And the real concerns is pornography, prostitution, the sexualization of young children that incites violence against women and children. And so in the following video that you're going to see, we will highlight the real issues.
Cybersex addiction is just one kind of sexual addiction which involves internet. So the definition of those who work with cybersex addiction is that there's a preoccupation with sex on the internet. And internet sex becomes the main focus of our sexual life. Start engaging in longer periods and harder kinds, and this is tolerance. With almost all addictions, there's some level of tolerance that begins. So if we were using a drug, we'd need more of the drug. When it's cybersex addiction, all of a sudden, I was doing it for 20 minutes, and then I was doing it for 2 hours, and then I was doing it for 6 hours, and I do have individuals who say to me, I have individuals who say, I go to work, and I go in my office, and I shut the door, and I log on to the porn sites, and 8 hours later, I log off of the porn sites, and I go home. Like, oh my gosh, this has expanded in the amount of time, and that's a form of tolerance. I need more and more of it. But sometimes I need harder and harder kinds. It starts off with some of the milder forms, and then all of a sudden I need harder forms to get that same level of arousal. Those first kind of images didn't do it for me. Now typically the person who's going to become an addict says, there's certain stuff I'll never go look at because it's so disgusting. You know, I'll never look at that stuff with animals, and I'll never look at that stuff that involves feces, and I'll never look at the stuff that involves children. But as the milder stuff will no longer arouse you, as you become numbed to that stuff, you start to escalate. I need something else that'll jack up my nervous system. And now all of a sudden, out of curiosity maybe, or because I need harder kinds, I'm going to some other sites, and I'm starting to look at stuff that used to disgust me, but now it arouses me. And now I need that harder kind. And so typically they end up in those areas where they said, this is the stuff I would never do, they will do.